early cash out at halftime of $1,039.59.
Oh my God, no, Mike. All right, well, you're trolling, but you know what? That's what the show's for. So I want to play this one to end it because it's from someone that called in with a blocked number, so you know they're clearly like a real big tough guy, right? Let's see what they have to say. What? What are you talking about? All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to something new. Well, I shouldn't say new, new for most of you guys, but this is the first new episode of the Ev Singleton Show, which is going to be more of a laid-back, casual, podcast-ish series here on the channel. And I say new, but also old because I'm sure most of you guys don't even realize, but back when we had like probably 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers, we did have a show called the Ev Singleton Show, and we talked about Celtics, other things going on. It kind of died out after, I almost want to say, under 200 episodes, which it did make it a long way, right? It had other names throughout the time, but nonetheless, we're bringing it back. It's going to be more of a podcast format type show where we react to videos, react to things you guys send in. Today, we're reacting to a bunch of voicemails that you guys left talking about your worst sports betting moments, your worst beats, that type of thing. But we have tons of interviews and guests lined up as well, so I'm very excited to bring this back. Hoping to do one per month, maybe. If you guys enjoy it, hitting the like button, leaving comments, we can try and speed it up to maybe, once per week or something like that. But nonetheless, I did want to let you guys know what this was and what we're doing. And like I said, we have so many voicemails from you guys at 617 302-6363. If you do want to leave a voicemail for a future show, you can love me, you can hate me, we'll react to it. But I asked you guys to send a voicemail and talking about your worst beats. That's what we're doing in today's video, reacting to a few of these. If your voicemail didn't make it into this episode, if this has enough likes or comments, maybe we'll run it back and do another episode. I can even share a couple of my worst beats out there as well, because I have a couple absolutely crazy ones. Ones where one funny one was when I pretty much thought I won the bet, celebrated so much, had too much to drink, woke up, not remember anything, only to find the box score I had lost. So not exactly the best moment in your boy Ev's, history here, but nonetheless, we all have them. Got a ton of them here, so we're gonna jump into them. Again, we're reacting to voicemail 617-302-6363. If you guys want to leave a voicemail for a future show, and I haven't heard any of these yet, so we'll have the final cut in terms of if we need to cut anything out or anything like that, but I wanted to save my genuine reaction for this. So, let's go ahead and jump into voicemail number one. Again, worst beats. Let's see what we got.
Yo, what's up? How's it going, man? This is Jake. Jake Power Plays on TikTok. I'm based out in California.
Cala who? Cala where?
And, sorry, is that a bad voice crack?
I love that you. All right, so I made fun of it. You own up to it. So retract what I said. All right.
Yeah, basically. So I just wanted to tell a funny story I had from back when I was in school with my buddies. This is before I kind of was, knew anything about sports betting. I kind of just did it for fun. Didn't really understand the concept of EV, things like that of the sort. And it was the Super Bowl, and we were all coming up with a first touchdown player prop. This was the Super Bowl.
I think I'm not going to pause and make this miserable to listen to for most of them, but this is the first one. Let's ease into it. If this is I think I know where Jake is going with this one. I've had a few of these first touchdown. I don't want to spoil it, but I think I know where he's going with this.
In 2021 with the Chiefs and the Bucks. And we were all kind of in the lab, whatever, thinking oh, it's going to be this guy. And then we ultimately were down between Godwin and I can't remember what the Godwin line was, but Gronk was one that we were really thinking about, and it was plus 4,500. And it was basically six of us, and we were
definitely what I was thinking.
We do Gronk, Godwin, and eventually someone was like, "Okay, man, Gronk would be sick, but we got to go Godwin because Gronk only had a couple touchdowns on the year, it wasn't really a huge he wasn't even the starting tight end." So we're all right, we're just going to go Godwin. We'll play it safe. We had some bad weeks leading up to that. We didn't have the risk taker in us at that point. And then what do you know? First touchdown, obviously it's Gronk.
That's brutal. That is exactly what I was thinking. I've had a few of those where first basket scorer or first touchdown, and it's like you say the name out loud. That'll never happen, and then boom, the big one cashes.
We would have thrown down 50 on that for plus 4,500. Some college kids, that would have been some crazy money. But we missed, obviously. No Godwin. That was probably one of the saddest moments in my sports betting career. So I just thought that was funny to share that. Especially with those first touchdown props, man, they're just brutal. They're not winning long term, but it's stuff. It's fun to do stuff like that. So just wanted to share that. Love what you're doing, bro. Love the channel. Love the TikTok. See you.
Shout out to Jake there. That is so brutal, especially when you think you can almost hear the pain. Like it starts with one of the worst moments in sports betting, and then by the end of that, Jake, you're like one of the saddest moments, because it is like, think about that. I don't know what year you said you were in school, but like you're anywhere from 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Like you can barely scrape together beer money, and then all of a sudden you have the chance to hit a $4,500 play. You're watching the Super Bowl with all your buddies, and it doesn't come through. Absolutely brutal. And I've been there before too. I'm sure most people have, but first touchdown scorers are so tough because you say it like, I don't know your situation, but you say it almost like not meaning it, like, oh, Gronk, right? And then people are like, oh, yeah, that's stupid. And then all of a sudden it hits, and then there's someone in the room being like, I told you. It's tough. It is tough. But yeah, that's a brutal one. That being said, the good thing is it was kind of like hearsay. I'm curious to see if anyone has ones where it's almost like they were covering or they were hitting, and then something in the game happens, a bad call, a foot on the line, something like that, bends him over a barrel and shows him the 50 states. So let's keep going here. That was a good one to start, though. Next up, we got this one. Here we go. From Colin.
Hey, what's up, man? This is your man, Colin. You're right of the day, pro.
Shout out to Colin.
I'm going to give you my worst betting experience. It was around football, NFL season, and I had just like a 6-leg touchdown parlay going on, basically. It was pretty predictable.
You know that's doomed from the start. 6-leg touchdown parlay.
Choices like Pacheco, Barkley, Sam Laporta, Montgomery, all those guys that usually get a touchdown every game, And obviously, everyone's always freaking getting injured every second of the season. And I had all my legs hit. I put $500 on this parlay, dude. Oh, man.
What were the odds?
The Ravens game against the Bengals. They laid out Mark Andrews like the first minute of the game, literally 5 yards or so before he almost got a touchdown. And I'm sure he would have that game if he didn't get injured, man. But they laid him out. Obviously, he was out all season. And, unfortunately, we lost that parlay. So, yeah, that's one of the many. So,
one of the many.
All right, thanks, man. I'll talk to you. Bye.
That is, I love Colin saying that is one of the many, because to be fair, to just in general consensus, right? Placing a 6-leg touchdown parlay is doomed from the start, right? But you knew once you hit 5 that something was going to happen. You didn't think that, what'd you say, Mark Andrews was going to get laid out and hung up, but like $500 on that? Gotta sound the psycho alert alarm for that. What a psycho, Colin, but you know what? I love you for it. I love you for it. And parlays are heartbreaking, but the reason why no one will ever stop playing them, I'm not advocating to stop playing them, right? Like, I know, and you should know, parlays are not the way to profit long-term sports betting, but who can argue how fun parlays are, right? Like, that's the thing. Anyone that's like, you should never parlay, it's like, I get it, but I'm someone as a sports bettor, and clearly doing this for a living too, recognizes that you're doing this for entertainment to some degree, just as much as you are for profit, right? So a parlay, you get 5 legs. Like, I'm sure you would have wanted that to cash. That part, no, who wouldn't, right? But that thrill of having 5 down, 1 to go, I'm not going to say it's worth $500, but that's worth like the price of admission, right? But all right, let's jump into another voicemail.
Yeah, this is Travis from Cincinnati. My worst bets were...
I really like this voice. That sounds weird. Don't clip it. Don't make it weird. but I'm gonna restart this like that.
Yeah, this is Travis from Cincinnati. My worst bets were when I first started gambling.
I do.
I'd say I didn't know the difference between bases and
Oh
hits.
my god, I hate base.
So I think I lost a lot of money there just betting on bases, not understanding that it had to be off a hit and not the walks didn't count or each base ran. All right, have a good one.
All right, again, don't make it weird. That's like a 9.1 out of 10 voice. Bases versus hits in baseball is so frustrating. Why can't they count bases? You know, why can't they count walks and stolen bases and pass balls, that type of thing, as bases? Let the hits be hits, right? And just make the odds adjusted. Like, it's so dumb to me that someone can have a 0.5 hits line and a 0.5 bases line, and you're just giving them the same odds. Like, no, make his hits line minus 115 and then his bases line minus 150 if you want to include walks, stolen bases, that type of thing. It's so, I'm sure there's a good reason why. I'm a stupid person, right? But it's so dumb to me why they don't do that, why they can't just adjust it accordingly. I understand it if total bases, you know, if your line's at 1.5 and hits are at 1.5, they kind of adjust it with the odds. But let bases, let walks, let steals, advancing on an error, like let those count as bases, for God almighty. I know we'll never get there, but it frustrates me so much because using that 0.5 bases and 0.5 hits as an example, what's the difference? Where's the distinguisher? So dumb. I'm with you, Travis. 9.1 out of 10 voice. All right, the one we're going to play next, this is hilarious. So I have a transcript from the voicemails on my screen, so I could see the name and whatnot. But all I see is like multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 times, F asterisk, 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 asterisk. So this should be a pretty animated one. Let's see what we got here. Let's go.
What's up, my man? My name's Tim Kelly. It's Teeks in the chat on Discord.
Shout out.
I'm from Ipswich, Mass. All right.
I used to work in Ipswich, Mass.
But I'm in Arizona now. Anyways,
Did
my
not work
bad
in
beat
Arizona.
is football's my bag, but I'm picking up on baseball. So 2 seasons ago, my bad beat was when the Jets came back and beat the Browns. Was it the first game? It was 2 seasons ago. It was early in the season, and the Browns were up by like 17 points with less than 2 minutes left. And if Nick Chubb, they scored a touchdown at like around 2 minutes. If Nick Chubb had just taken a fucking knee at the goal line like he did the year before, they could have just ran out the clock because the Jets had no timeouts. And then Amari Cooper, they did the onside kick to.
I didn't remember this until just now. I didn't bet on it, but I know someone that did. So I think a lot of people were screwed by this, man.
Get the ball back after they had scored. Amari Cooper, he's right on the sideline. All you have to do with the onside kick is bat it out of bounds. And again, the Jets have no timeout. They're taking the victory formation. So I had a 6-leg parlay, which I had $100 on.
What is up with these 6-leg parlays? You guys are savages. Savages. And also, if you're making fun of how I'm standing, I am standing right now, okay? We got a standing desk. No big deal. Rolling in it.
The payout was like $2,500. The fucking Jets, fucking Joe Flacco, motherfuckers. And that was how I started my season off, but I came back and I did well. But that was a tough hit because really I thought that was a casher. Hey, brother, I appreciate the content. I really do. Before I place any bets, I come in and I listen to you. And I love the breakdown, and I love that you rip on guppies. All good in the hood. Keep up the good work, brother. Peace.
All right, shout out to you. That is a good one. I do remember that game, and I had a couple buddies that were kind of affected by that too. And that wasn't as animated as I thought. I thought it was going to be like a mother. Like, no. I'm sure you were in the moment, honestly. Like, who wouldn't be? But yeah, appreciate that. That's a tough one. Good to know you came back from it, but man, you savages in your $100, $500, 6-leg parlays, gotta love you for it. And I like that you say that. I love that you rip on the guppies because, not to take a quick little sidetrack here, but I don't mind hate I don't mind mixing it up in the mud. People are like, why are you giving the guppies, if this is your first time listening, the guppies are the haters on the channel. Why are you giving them attention? Why are you doing this, that, the third? To me, it's not really giving them attention. It's creating content, creating more content. And I grew up and still have a relationship with all my closest friends where I don't know if we say anything nice to each other. You know what I mean? So I'm okay with that sort of, let's just riff back and forth. If someone comes in and says, you're stupid or blah, 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 like, I'm ready to go back and forth with them. I don't care if I have 1 million subscribers and this is a no-name. You know what I mean? It's fun to me. I think it helps us, galvanize the troops of the true supporters. So I know that some people are always like, why are you spotlighting the haters? It's, if someone comes in and is like, hey, like, I'm gonna, off your family or something stupid like that, I'm not going to be like, no, you're not. Like, it has to be more poking fun where someone's like, either calling out something stupid or something that I can come from the top rope on. So I don't know if I've ever fully explained that at length before, but just know that when we're calling out guppies or people come into stream and are hating, it's kind of all in good fun. Like, I recognize I'm the one running this thing, right? I recognize that it's social media. So don't get mad at me for calling out a guppy. We have guppy alerts. It's more views. It's more business. It's more content. Like, it is what it is. I think that it's fun to rip on some of the haters because we have the final say. They're in our comment section. You know what I mean? All right, let's get to another one. These won't always be voicemails or anything like that. Sometimes we'll react to news and blah, blah, blah. But I figured engaging the community, engaging the real ones, would be a good place to start for this show.
Hey, this is Mike. I'm from Florida. And about my worst loss recently was a 2-leg parlay on the NFL championship game weekend. Chiefs Lions, $140 to win 1,500. Okay, the Chiefs win on Saturday, and then the next game, the Lions come out hot, early cash out at halftime of $1,039.59.
Oh my God, no, Mike, no.
I was at work. I was debating with my friend, should I cash out? I said, no, the Lions are up 28-7. Going to the second half, we all know what happened. That was my worst loss. So I watch your show every day. I like your picks. Keep the videos coming, man. We appreciate all you do. Thank you, guys.
All right, I think that's the worst one we've heard so far. A cash out available that was more than 66% of what you could have won. I get the whole don't cash out, let it ride. Like, I understand that. But knowing that it didn't work out, you know what I mean? Like, that's the difference maker. You tell me that at halftime, maybe I'm like your buddy there being like, nah, let it ride. You're telling me $140 to win 1,500, and then you get a cash out option of damn near 1,100, and you don't take it, that burns. I'm not saying you made the wrong decision. Clearly you did, but you know what I mean? In the moment, whoa, that's a tough one. So I think so far, I love all the other ones that we've listened to. That one is the worst so far because it literally, like, you had the option and you get screwed, right? Like, clearly whatever book you were on there is giving you a decent cash out, aka like they know that it's probably going to happen the other, it's probably bound to cash too. You know what I mean? Oh, that is a tough one, Mike. I feel like I can hear the pain in your voice still, or at least it went through my bones. That's the worst one I think we've heard so far. Not necessarily like the money wise and stuff. I'm sure there's some people out there, well, I lost $10,000 on a bet. And it's like, well, sure. But 140 to 10x your money, pretty much get to a point where you're 9xing it and not taking the cash out. Oh, I wonder if you're still friends with that guy, Mike. I wonder. All right, next one up here. I don't know if we're going to top that one because, again, it's so tangible to have a cash out right in front of you.
All right, so this True Brant from Detroit. My worst beat is probably when I had the Knicks on the money line.
This dude's still feeling this loss. Like mentally, right? I'm not saying he put a crazy amount of money in his life. Like, no, I'm saying you can hear it when he's telling this story. What the? You know what I mean? Like, I can hear it.
And Luka was at the line with like 1 second left. He missed the free throw on purpose, gets the rebound, makes a layup, gets fouled, hits the and one, and now that he's on the line with like point something seconds left. He hit the free throw. They went to overtime, and then the Mavs won, man. So that's probably my worst beat. And I had I had the under in that game. So that made the over hit when he hit the and one. So that's probably my worst beat.
That's bad too. That is bad too. That is when, and that's similar to what I was saying about, one time that I thought I cashed, woke up in the morning, and I was like, what the hell happened? I didn't see that my game went to overtime and whatnot, but when you pretty much are able to start counting your money for a game under money line, and then that type of stuff happens, that's bad, man. That is bad. Wow. That's tough. Guys, I am really, really enjoying these voicemails. If you are too, or as well, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. We're going to try and keep these shows as laid back or casual or however you want to phrase it as possible because to me, this is really fun to hear about this, right? I could read comments or read tweets or something like that, but to hear your voices makes this so much better to me. Hopefully you guys are appreciating that as well. And if you were one of the ones that left the voicemail, I want you to comment in the comment section saying, hey, that was me. This is it. And then if you're looking at the comments as viewers of this, go send them your feels because some of these are brutal, man. Brutal. All right, let's keep it going here. I'm not sure how many more we'll do. Like I said, we have so many. We might save some for a part 2, but let's keep rocking and rolling. We'll see.
Hey, you want to talk about a bad beat the other night when Cleveland
recent
beat
one.
Orlando by 1 point. I'm not really a parlay guy, but I do two-leg parlays sometimes, and I had.
You're a parlay guy. Come on, you're a parlay guy. Maybe not, but like being like I'm not a parlay guy, but I do some sometimes. We all love parlays.
2 easy ones. I changed the spreads. I think I had like Phillies plus 1.5, and then I had the Cavaliers minus 1.5. I changed the spread to 1.5. I think it was at 6.5 before that. I felt like if they're gonna win by at least 2. So the Phillies cash on the second leg. I'm watching the game, and it was so close, and I had my finger right above the cash out option.
Oh, another one. And if you're talking, I don't know what you mean by the other night. Oh, by 1 point. Yeah, this was game 3? 4? Whatever it was, the Cav. No. Game 5, maybe? Whatever. One of the games in the Cav series. It probably was game 5 because they didn't win on the road, right? Oh, no, they win by 1. You got screwed, man. Let's hear it.
It was offering me my money back because the first leg hit, and this one they were up by 4 points. And I still had my finger on the cash out option. And as we all know, a pointless 3-pointer was made right at the end. And I get why they shot it. They were hoping maybe for a foul, maybe an and one opportunity, but
yeah, you can't blame we can't blame the team for that. But oh my god, dude.
It went in, and then the score went from 104 to 100. 4-point lead, which would cover my 1.5, to basically a buzzer beater, pointless 3-pointer, making it a 1-point win, which cancels out my 1.5 spread. That's probably my toughest beat recently.
That's brutal. I feel like we're getting a lot of tough ones. Like we've had, if you're sports betting, and I hope people leaving these voicemails know that anything I'm saying or whatever is in good fun because we all have these tough beats, which makes sports betting like that great in a weird way. That's tough. That is so tough, especially because it's got the recent sting. Like, there's no way, my man, that doesn't sting for you still, right? Like, if we're talking a football game from 3 years ago or, a beach volleyball game from 10 years ago, you're probably thinking, all right, I'm past it, whatever. Something that happened in the last calendar year, never mind the last calendar month, maybe last calendar week. Oh, that's gotta sting. Gotta sting. I should have like a heart rate monitor on the screen because listening to these, I'm like putting myself in the moment. Uh, it's tough, man.
I want to say it was like last year. I had a bet in, and it was like a 9-leg parlay, and I was through the 7 games, and I had 2 more games left, and I rode the wave, even though I had a cash out for 3,700. Cash out for 3,700 that I could have took, but instead I decided to ride the wave, and my last game ended up killing me. I even remember what game it was. It was Stanford versus Washington. No, Oregon State. Oregon State versus Stanford. And the reason I didn't cash out was because Stanford was up by 4 with literally like 30 seconds left.
Wow.
And so I'm thinking, the game's over. Well, Oregon State throws like a semi-Hail Mary. It was like a 30-yard pass. Well, the dude gets left untouched. The guys go to tackle him, and it looked so rigged. They just like completely missed him. They dove at his feet. The other guy tried to spin tackle him, and in mid of doing that, he fell. And then the other guy was trying to get at his ankles, so he dove, missed him, and then the Oregon State.
How did all 11? Oh my God. How many tackles were missed? Oh my God.
The receiver just ran it in for a touchdown, and it was the most heartbreaking thing ever, to say the least. Well, anyway, thank you for letting me share.
That's a tough one. That's 100% a tough one. To watch that happen, I know you talk about it, but that probably took like 15 seconds to happen. You know what I mean? Like, you watched that happen, and probably too, like in slow motion. You guys have some tough beats. I feel like I'm saying that over and over again, but this is why it's good to hear versus read, because I'm picturing myself like having these plays. You know what I mean? So this is tough. Let's run it. Next one.
And one of the worst beats I've ever had was on a Saturday, and I remember it was I think it was the Padres versus the Giants, and Giants was home, and I had the under.
Did he say Saturday? This is another recent one. Let me see.
It was I think it was the Padres versus the Giants.
Sorry.
Canada, and one of the worst beats I've ever had was on a Saturday, and I remember it was I think it was the Padres versus the Giants, and Giants was home, and I had the under. I think it was 9.5, and the game was going at 3-1, and that was one of my parlays. I think it was $500 to win 3,000, and while the game.
I know I've been talking about a lot of other dudes' voices, but I like a Canada accent. Parlay to win 3,000. I just like it. I don't know if I carried that out correctly, but I like it.
It was going. I thought the last game, as 3-1, I was good for 9.5, and I went upstairs to have sex with my girlfriend.
Tell me I'm not getting trolled right now. Tell me this is part of the real story, and I'm not just kidding. If this screw it, let's play it.
And while we're having a good time.
While she was, we were having a good time.
I was watching TV and
What are you talking about? Hold on. I went upstairs. Hold on.
And while we're at 3-1, I was good for 9.5. And I went upstairs to have sex with my girlfriend. And while we're having a good time, I was watching TV and
What do you mean, wow? What do you mean while we were having a good time, I was watching TV? Maybe that's why she was having a good time. Keeping the mind off things.
and one of the batters at the bottom of the ninth hit a home run that killed it and made it 10 runs. I think it was 3-7 or something like that. 3-8, something like that.
I thought it was 3-1. I'm confused as all hell, but this is what a story.
And I came right at that moment. And that was the worst beat I ever had because right after that, I felt so empty. I was so frustrated, but empty. You know what I mean?
All right, well, you're trolling, but you know what? That's what the show's for. So you might think you're trolling or winning one or getting one over on me. Thank you for the content. That's a crazy story. That cannot be true. I went upstairs while we were having a good time. I was watching TV. And then somehow someone hit a 6-run home run? Is that what I'm... Some people, man. Some people. But I appreciate you calling in, even to troll. Why does part of me freaking believe that story? The math ain't even mathin'.
Hey, Andrew from upstate New York. All right, December 14th, 2020. It was the
Coming with
Lamar
dates.
Jackson had the poop game. Remember that? Monday Night Football. Cleveland Browns were plus 3.5. Lamar leaves the game, and they come all the way back to tie it. But then Tucker kicks a 55-yarder. But I still got that hook. But they left 2 seconds on the clock, and the hook and ladder play went backwards. Like it always does, and I fell to the floor. And
Andrew, I'm thinking, you sound like it, so I hope you are. Cheers, man, because this is like either someone that's stewing in a bad play in the past or someone that is like almost drunkenly being like, that time freaking sucked. But cheers to you either way.
I looked up and I saw stupid Scott Van Pelt's smirking face laughing at me. All right, that's it. That's the worst one. I don't know how much worse you can get.
You guys are stupid Scott Van Pelt. Put that on a freaking t-shirt. Oh, that is awesome. That's awesome.
What's up, guys? This your boy, Anthony Addison. I'm calling from Memphis, Tennessee. And man, I know you probably remember this bad beat, but bro, it was the Miami Hurricane versus the Georgia Tech football team. And if you remember, well, I had Miami money line. Wait, Mom. Huh? Come, I was doing something.
Do we get into... He calls back. All right, Anthony. Let's get... Dude, that's one of the funniest. We have to leave that in, man. I'm sorry to air you out. That's funny. That's like a comedian level funny right there.
Okay, man. It's your boy Anthony Edison, man. I'm calling from Memphis, Tennessee. My mama interrupted me on the last video. I'm sorry. But I had Miami money line. Miami Hurricanes were playing Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
I want your mama calling in next time into the show. Not for any weird reasons. You know I'm a respectful man. But I need to know, what was she interrupting you for? You're leaving a voicemail on such an important occasion.
I had Miami money line. Miami was winning 20-17, bro. 20-17. And Yellow Jackets could not stop the clock. Georgia Tech could not stop the clock. All Miami had to do was kneel. All they had to do was hit a knee. Miami runs the football. Miami fumbled the football, so the Yellow Jackets recovered. So, like I said, Yellow Jackets have no timeout. The Yellow Jackets get the ball back. They have to go about 60 yards.
Sorry to interrupt this, but we already talked about a couple voices here. I love this accent. Tennessee accent, is that what it was, right? Saying my mom and stuff. Like, these are the times that I'm envious of not being from the South and being from freaking Boston where we parked the car. And, like, this is an awesome accent. It truly is. I'm not saying that as a joke or anything. Love this.
To get the touchdown and get the lead. Because, like I said, 20-17. The Yellow Jackets, on 2 plays, went 60 yards for a touchdown. And my for sure money line went straight to shit. When I could have been, I should have won if they would have just nailed the football. But I appreciate you, bro. A little everything you do, man. You want some money with you. And keep up the good work, bro.
I appreciate you calling in twice. Mom's interrupting you. You head back. You call back in. But, yeah, you know what? I think we'll end on this one because this is such a – that was a great story. And like I said, I love that accent. And that, like, these football ones where football is like a end of game management, like guys can just fall down at the one. We saw Todd Gurley do that one time against, was it the Packers? But football, it's like kneel the ball, stop trying to get greedy and you can win, right? So it's interesting that a bunch of these are like that. But yeah, we got a bunch more to go. We'll probably call it after this. I'll probably rant and rave at the end. But I see the transcript of this one, so I want to play this one to end it because it's from someone that called in with a blocked number, so you know they're clearly like a real big tough guy, right? Let's see what they have to say.
My name is this dick and you a bitch.
One more time.
My name is this dick and you a bitch.
Imagine thinking you are so cool, so tough that you call a voicemail that I said call and leave a voicemail that I said leave a voicemail to. I'll keep walking the dog, buddy. If your name is this dick and you're saying I'm a bitch, I guess we both are. I'm walking the dog, you're calling the voicemail. He also left a bunch of others. I'm not playing those. But guys, that is going to be a wrap for the voicemails. A couple things that I wanted to talk about just to end out the show would be in this worst beat mindset or something like that. And by the way, if I didn't get to yours, we'll try and do a part 2 of this at some point. Like I said, this is going to be a sort of let's feel it out type of a show. Have a couple ideas in mind and whatnot, but overall, with these worst beats in mind, like it is to kind of shed light, not to get all philosophical or some BS on you here, but it is to kind of shed light on sports betting. Anything can happen, right? Like even me somehow has luckily for 4 years straight been profitable. And I do mean that. Like, it takes luck. I know a lot of other people like to puff their chest out and say how good they are. We have a freaking brand called Fade Me, right? Right? Like, we got it all behind us. Like, it should all be as much work as you want to put in, you should be able to get out, for starters. But once you place a bet, you should be thinking about you're paying for the price of admission to a freaking theme park. You know what I mean? We all want to win, and hopefully we do win. And the more work you put in, I do believe that you can beat the books with sports betting. Roulette, no. Blackjack, no. You know, all these games that are gambling, shout out to the Gambler brand, like you don't have that edge. Sports betting, you put enough work in, know the games enough, you can have an edge, but that edge is going to be like, you know, maybe you're right 54% of the time, you know? So I did want to leave you guys with that, I guess, just in the sense of what we're doing here. And this is going to be like longer format videos and whatnot. So hopefully you can see, or I can shed a little light on the fun side of wins. Also the haha sides of losses. Like, I'm sure nobody that left a voicemail and brought that up and talked about it, it was a play that screwed them over so badly that they could never afford food again or not afford rent or mortgage. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be betting more than you can lose. No kidding. But guys, that is going to wrap for today's show. Episode 1 in the books, but it's like more like episode 200, but I think we'll just start saying F. Singleton Show. I don't even know if we'll put episodes to it. But nonetheless, guys, appreciate everyone for calling in, especially everyone for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.